Hey guys, I'm Nora and welcome to the Grateful Blessedness podcast. I'm here to share with you the value of mindset coaching on your 12-step journey. I am a 12-stepper and certified mindset coach with a huge heart for those who struggle to stay sober and abstinent and cannot figure out why, and for those who are abstinent but still long to feel happy, joyous, and free. It is that emotional sobriety that is the goal of my coaching and the steady thread that weaves through each episode of this podcast. So I hope the podcast will encourage you in the very real struggle of living the 12-step life and ultimately serve to remind you of the source of your emotional well-being. So God bless you on your journey, and thank you so much for listening. Let's dive in. Hey guys. We're reading from A Day at a Time, December 11th. Before I came to the program, in fact, before I knew of the program's existence, I drifted from crisis to crisis. Occasionally, I tried to use my will to chart a new course. However, like a rudderless ship, I inevitably foundered once again on the rocks of my own despair. Today, in contrast, I receive guidance from my higher power. Sometimes the only answer is a sense of peace or an assurance that all is well. Even though there may be a time of waiting before I see results or before any direct guidance comes, will I try to remain confident that things are working out in ways that will be for the greatest good of everyone concerned? Today I pray. May I not expect instant verbal communication with my higher power, like directions on a stamped, self-addressed postcard. May I have patience and listen and sense that my higher power is present. May I accept my new feeling of radiant warmth and serenity as my higher power's way of assuring me that I am finally making some good choices. Today I will remember patience. My higher power's message will come. This is a popular question for the newcomer, and one that I asked myself and continue to work on is, how do I know when it's God's voice or if it's my voice? Because sometimes it can be real tricky, especially when you're not used to talking to your higher power. You're not used to hearing his voice. And there's something my mom always said to me. Maybe some of you had a mom who said this to you too, but she'd always say, "Where's the peace, Nora? Where is the peace?" And for lots of things, especially the more I'm in my disease, it's like, there is no peace. I don't know. I just don't know, where everything just feels kind of agitated and like there's this vibrating frequency just within me. I'm not capable of experiencing peace, true peace, when I am in relapse or when I am just in it. And that's true. That's true. So we just have to get to the best place we can based on what we know. So, you can use extreme examples, but really it comes down to every situation. If you're not able to get to that point of peace, because the big book says when in a moment of indecision or doubt, something like that, you sit and you wait for your higher power to respond in some way. And something that I have found the most helpful is, it's in the big book, I believe, but is the prayer. And I love to say it, increase in me the desire to do your will. Increase in me the desire to do your will. And sometimes I'll add, let my will be thy will. Because then I don't have to try to guess and discern, what are you telling me? What do you want me to do here? As a trust exercise in my higher power, I then wait until I do feel pulled in some direction. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. And that's something, that's my go-to. And I like it because it's kind of fun. Because in a way I get to trust myself more, but I'm actually trusting myself more because I'm trusting my higher power more. And I'm asking him to talk to me in a way that I understand, but also in a way that I was taught to in the 12 steps. So increase in me the desire to do your will. And I'm asking for help. Like, I go based on desires. And in addiction, my desires get warped. But I'm working at cleaning my interior house. I'm working at cleaning it up so that my desires now start to be cleaner again and straight. That rudder that they talk about in this reading, that's my higher power's very present presence in my day, guiding, cutting through whatever kind of water there is, turbulent or still. It cuts through and it directs me. But I do have to remember to ask, because if I'm super choppy and turbulent, if like my mind is in addict mode and I'm just like, I'm getting tossed about in my boat. I'm getting tossed about by the wind, and it doesn't matter how good my rudder is or like how much it is actually there. It's not going to be able to help me if the winds around me are blowing and all that stuff. So in this analogy, gotta love my sad analogies, but in this analogy, my mental state is the wind. And that's actually something, and I hammer about this in my coaching, that's actually something that we can control. We may not be able to control those initial thoughts that kind of surge into our mind, but once we have practiced that skill of self-awareness, all of a sudden now we catch it. And it's not flying around us, it's in our hand. And we get to decide in full power, am I going to continue to allow this thought that is rocking my boat here? Or am I going to, step 3, turn it over and release it? Because step 2, I trust in a power greater than myself, and I'm going to let him guide my ship. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.